afternoon, guys. So you're welcome to this seminar. Sorry for the technical issues, the first start and all of that. Can you all hear me, please? I just want to confirm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Dami Olanraju. I'm the MD CEO at Upper Light Nigeria. And today it's our inaugural seminar on what we call the World Chatroom. So the whole idea is for us to be able to help you, educate you about different things in real estate in Nigeria. We have been playing this space for some time now, and we just thought to share some of our experience with people in terms of what are the opportunities that exist within the sector. Particularly today, we're zoning in on land banking. Because a lot of people, the problem I've seen about the sector is that a lot of people throw different things around, but at the end of the day, nobody can actually define some of these things, and how it plays out in real life, So basically, it's an attempt to just start. So this is the flow. This first half, which will be about 30 minutes now, because we've used part of the time, will be to establish some context around land banking. Then the second half will be question and answer. So you take a 15-minute break and log in back in for your questions and answer, and probably be very interactive and all of that. You can drop some of your questions even in the comment or chat box, and on the other side, my team will pick it up, for them to be able to action it. Okay, pretty much. Yeah, so basically, what's land banking? Of course, we know the word bank, so we know the word land, right? It's about banking land. The ideal context is that you go ahead of civilization, right? You go ahead of civilization to most of the time outskirts. Of course, you can do land banking within town, but of course, it's going to come expensive. Imagine you want to land bank a land in VI, where the per square meter is around 500,000 square meter, or another land that the per square meter is 1 billion, 1.1, depending on who you're buying from. So pretty much, land banking most of the time is your ability to be able to spot development ahead of time and go ahead, So classic example are, the religious people actually understood this. If you look at the case of winners, they went to Ota, they went into the forest and made it a city. The same thing with Redeem, but that is not even, those are not even people that are supposed to be pioneering land banking, because land banking essentially is a commercial endeavor, where you go ahead, you find where opportunities or potentials are going to be, and you go ahead, to invest in land and all of those assets, So for example, I'll use the example of Ibadan as a classic example. The actual Dangote refinery and all of these things, the master plan for Lekki was consciously done before 2012. And so a lot of people didn't know. And that's one of the key success in land banking is that you must be aware of the developmental plan of the government within the states or within the country as a whole. So before everybody started talking about Ibadan, it was 2016, 2017, So imagine that you have bought a large expanse of land in Ibadan before 2012, when it was probably selling around 150 per plot or something. Now, an average land in Ibadan, Lekki, depending on who you are buying from, the land we see or who cannot be less than 5 million. So imagine the multiple, return on investment. You cannot even begin to even put a figure to it. If you look like somebody that bought at 150, say prior to 2012, then selling at 5 million, 6 million. So there are several projects that government are here marked, but most of the time people don't pay attention to developmental projects. And some of these documents are available online. like the Lagos State Master Plan now is available online. So in it has been detailed the development that will happen in the next couple of years, So basically, it's all about going ahead, buying, and this is not even, unique. This is not unique to us. Some of our forefathers have been able to, okay, so sorry guys, I need to move the office so it's a better view. So most of our forefathers, I remember buying a land in Ibadan, and then one of the things that the guy was doing, one of the things the guy was doing was, he will go ahead of civilization to actually, buy, and he will sell. Then he will collect the money, and we, yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me now? Okay. So can you guys still hear me? I'm sorry for the issue. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Somebody needs to answer me, please.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I know.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm so sorry. So basically, it's all about going ahead to invest, and that's what I'm saying. Now, that buying land in Nigeria can be very crazy. So the key there is that a lot of people have lost land. If you remember 2011, 2012, even now, a lot of people are trying to sell land to you. But a lot of people are skeptical. You know why? Because in the past, they bought land and it's a problem. Some, you cannot even, number one, the integrity of the developer, they've actually taken the money and they've gone away. They've gone away. You can't trace them. You can't track them. You don't know where they are. The place that they sold for you then is still a bush. You can't track what is happening, even though it's 5 years, is 7 years, is 10 years. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's part of the problem that we've had in the past with land banking. Because they will tell you buy land, it will appreciate in 5 or 10 years. And at the end of the day, you buy and nothing is forthcoming, pretty much. Then for some, what bad title? They bought bad title, land that does not have documentation, land that does not have title. A lot of developers will not even do due diligence. Then the one that is worse actually is you buying from, you just buying directly. You go ahead, you buy directly from Omonile. You go back there, you've gone back there, they've already built a house or a fence there. Then you are not even ready to fight. I can't recount the number of times a lot of people have told me that they had this whole issue, the whole problem of, they buying and having issues with, they will go back to the land and you can't even find anything there. Somebody have built. In fact, I had a similar experience when I bought my land then, a plot, and I went away for a long time and I came back. The son of the man has resold. Thank God that the man had integrity. So I was able to get back the land. But most of the time, you don't get as lucky, So basically, how exactly do you even go into land banking in 2021? Because you don't even want to, number one, if the Omonila is not dealing with you, let's say you went in directly, you can deal with developers that don't have integrity and they are not even developing the estate that they sold to you. There's no fencing, there's no form of protection, there's no security there, and anybody can just even go there. There are no documentations. Then how do you also immune yourself from government going over a large expanse of land and reclaiming it? So how do you navigate the land banking space in Nigeria? Because trust me, the future wealth is the land banking. Let me quickly state that land banking is not even only for individuals. a lot of organizations, I don't know if you've gone around Ikeja, some places in VI, you see large expanse of land covered. Some of it are owned by several organizations because it's a good way of storing money. Now, why must you land bank? Number one, you don't want to put your money in savings in bank. It's probably 2 to 3% if you ever get anything per annum. And remember that inflation is 17 to 19% per month. So when you keep your money in bank, you are not actually saving it, you are losing the money. The value of the cash is lost through inflation, number one. Number two is the exchange rate. Every day, one day is coming and it's very soon, except our economy has a turnaround. Dollar will be sold for 1,000.
I reject.
So real estate is one of the major ways of hedging yourself against inflation. I heard somebody quickly say they reject it and go. This is not, I'm not a prophet of doom. So if you couldn't reject it that 3-4 years ago, it was 100 and something naira, 3-5 years ago, and it went to 350, it's not what anybody can control. The only way that you can do this is to hedge yourself, your personal economy, and that's why we're having this webinar. Nobody's praying for it, but what happens if it happens? So we don't live our life to chances, we are proactive. And that's one of the things that we're trying to achieve. See, in Upper Light, is beyond selling of land for us. Our slogan, our mantra is actually enhancing the life of the people. We can see that wealth, we want to demystify wealth. Wealth is demystified. It's not supposed to be in the purview of few people. In India, for example, you have loads of millionaires there, and it's not affecting anybody. Making money, becoming wealthy is not a monopoly. It shouldn't be a monopoly. If all of us became rich in Nigeria today, it's not going to affect anybody. Rather, it's just going to enhance the society. The GDP of San Francisco alone is bigger than the whole of Nigeria put together. So that's to show you the kind of what personal wealth can do. Personal wealth leads to city or state wealth, which translates into federal wealth. So you must do land banking to hedge yourself against inflation. And it's one of the ways of even making cool money for the future. Imagine you bought into a land now at 800. The other day I was talking to one of my friends. He needed to raise 50 million. And he was just telling me, it happened 2 weeks ago, not that a third party told me. He told me himself. He's a real estate developer himself. He said, do you know that it was the land I bought for 850 some 3-4 years ago that I'm selling now for 13 million. He sold the land 13 million. So 850 to 13 million, can you begin to do the percentage? So for your future expenses, for your future you see, some of us, for example, that education, academics is very, very expensive now. An average nursery school, primary school is reading probably 300K. You can use land banking to finance the school fees of your children to university, to Harvard, wherever you want to send them to. So in the same way that you have the stock market, you can actually have a land bank where you have land stocks. Imagine you can open your land banking Excel or database, and you saw that you have one land in Ibadan, 3 plots in Ekpe, 1 land in Agbara, maybe 5 plots in Mowe, and you are looking about 20 different locations with different price points. In the same way that you are buying Guinness, you are buying Nestle, you can actually buy land. And the good thing about land is that it can only go up. For stock would go down, will go up, will go down. At times, some stock go down permanently. And a lot of artificial things even happen in the stock market. So it's not a sustainable way. Don't trust me, it's a way of making money. But if you want to generate wealth as an exponential level, you need to pay attention to land banking. So you can use it for future expenses, to hedge yourself against future expenses, to fund your lifestyle. A lot of us want to travel, and travel has been an imagination goal. Imagine a situation now where you can delay gratification now for like maybe 3 years, and you just put your land, in the land bank. Maybe you bought a land at 500. In 3 years, the land has become 3 million, and you take your family out, you know, on a lunch, you know, like excuse me, you know, for lunch, for holiday in Dubai or somewhere. Just an investment of 500K today can make that happen. Imagine that you are always buying land, and when your children's school fees comes in September, that's when you sell your land, you know, and you sell the land to pay their school fees, and you buy another land, you know. Things like that are actually possible. Or some of you that you are in career presently, you're going forward in your career, and one day you desire to start your business. And some business actually requires capital, a big capital outlay for it to work. So at the end of the day, you might realize that, you know, it's a good way. I remember another story that was told of somebody that just bought maybe less than, it's not even up to a plot, somewhere in Ikoyi. He bought it way back, you know, before the bank consolidation. He just bought it, he was not even thinking. In fact, when they retrenched a lot of people in 2008, 2009, the person didn't remember. The wife just remembered that, we bought this land and everything. And a small piece of land that is barely less than half a plot or something, the guy sold it at 18 or something million. And he was able to raise money to start his business. So you can use it to fund your lifestyle. You can use it to fund your children's school fees. You can use it in the future to start business, you know. And go and find out every rich people, they have assets in real estate investment, you know. So that is the business case for land banking, and you need to take it seriously. However, I know that a lot of people have raised some issues around land banking, you know, around developers not doing proper titling, not protecting the land. You going by yourself, and by the time you go there, you know, people have already, you know, probably taken over the land. How should you go about land banking in 2021? The first step is that you need to study development. And I'm going to be giving us a lot of stats. By the way, the real estate sector in Nigeria is 59 trillion. It's a very huge market. It's 5 times bigger than the stock market at 12 trillion currently, thereabout. But guess what? There is a lot of gap in the market. In Nigeria, we need 231 trillion naira. I repeat, I didn't say 231 billion. 231 trillion to meet the housing deficit in Nigeria. We have about 20 million housing deficit. Now, Lagos is going to be 30 million by 2030. Currently, it's around 23 million thereabout. In fact, we should have been more than 30 million. So the issue of housing is going to become more problematic. The crazy thing is that Lagos is the smallest state by land size. Abuja, all of these places are going to become saturated. Land will become more expensive in the days to come. Let me tell you what will happen in the days to come. There will be some time where you cannot buy new set of land again. It can happen. Maps in the next 30 years will have covered all the major lands in the country. Nigeria is big, no doubt. It's very huge. But especially city center. That's why what will begin to happen will be called what we call gentrification, where most of these houses that are 2-story, 3-story building, in the future, in places like Ogba, Yaba, you will not see houses less than 10 or 20 floors. All of the houses that are currently there now will be taken down and rebuilt. So land is going to become scarce. One of the advantages of having land bank also is that in the future, you can do joint venture, JV, with some people. For example, in places like Ibadan now, it's almost very difficult to get a land except JV. Of course, you always get, but they are more expensive. You know, 2 plots, 3 plots going at over $1 billion already. So what happened? A lot of people will need people to take land from. And you now do a JV where you give a developer the land, they build on it, and you guys will share the houses, the housing unit into half. Let's say they build 10 units or 20 units. You take 10, the other person will take 10. So from there, you move your land into rental income. You know? And now, even if you buy a land now, you can actually start adding value to the land. You can start making money by doing farming. Let's say a place is not developed and you bought into the land. You can begin from now to also even plant there. Or you can sublet it out. And somebody will plant and they will pay you leaves. Let's say a land that's even in the outskirts of the town that nothing is happening. So there's no way that you do land banking that you lose. But number one, do you know the development in your city, in your area? For example, in the area that is becoming, that we are playing, and I will share more light on that, is Ibeju. Ibeju currently has several developments. Dangote has invested over $14 billion for the petrochemical plant and the refinery. 14 billion. Whereas that's not the only thing that is in Ibeju. There's the seaport. The seaport will launch mid next year. There are a lot of recreational centers. There are a lot of companies. There are about 4 free trade zones. There are a lot of manufacturing companies that are coming to that space. You know, as we speak currently, then there's the airport. On the other side, we have the Elerongbe side where there's the airport, the international airport. Trust me, the international airport will be built between now and the next 10 years. You know, so there's a lot of potential in that area. They are going to concession it. Now, already a 23-kilometer road is being built from Eleko Junction, linking Ekpe, linking out to Ijebu-Ode. Then the Ijebu-Ode people, government, the late Ogun State government, they built their road even from Ijebu-Ode to that interlink between Ekpe, where Lagos stop, and their Ijebu part. So you have a toll there currently. Because you know what, most of the trucks that will be going out from Dangote refinery cannot pass inside main Lagos to Bega and Co. It has to pass through Eleko to Ekpe to Ijebu-Ode. From Ijebu-Ode, it will now find itself to anywhere in southwest, anywhere in the north, and anywhere to the east. So that place is booming with a lot of activity, and it's not an high. People think Ibeju is an high. That's why we call Greater Lagos. The bulk of government's focus is on that place right now. And there are several thousands, over millions of people that even have started living there. We have some people working in Dangote refinery that already live in that area now. For example, there's an estate that's called Sapphire Garden or so. Somebody's living there. I think the duplex is 2.5 million naira there. So a lot of other properties are now springing up around that area. But Ibeju will be very concentrated. That's why Ekpe is also a critical place, because Ekpe will be the residential of the Ibeju, which is mostly industrial. So imagine in the next 3-5 years that Ibeju is like a papa. So if you are gonna add now, land of Ibeju has been jumping by 100 or 500% from in the last 7 years, see, particularly in the last 3-4 years. And it's even not going to stop. Immediately the seaport start mid next year, land is going to jump times 2, times 3. Immediately Dangote start, Dangote will obviously start next year, maybe last quarter. If it's not starting Q2 2022, by January 2023, Dangote will have started lifting oil in the Ibeju. They are almost done. I go there every now and then. I'm still going on Thursday. If you see the kind of people that are coming into that space every day, then you know that it's a place to buy. But that's not the only place. We have the Badagry corridor, which nobody is paying attention to right now because of the road. The road is actually bad from Lagos to Badagry. It's terrible. It's better for you to go through the sea, you know. But very soon they are going to do the road. It's going to be fine. It links to Agbara. Agbara is the largest industrial zone in West Africa currently. So there's the Agbara, although the road is bad, but over time, those infrastructure will be built. It's better for you to go in now to Agbara, to Badagry, and buy the large expanse of land there and just leave it. Probably fence it if you want to do it by yourself. And I'm going to show you a better option shortly. Then we have the Lagos, Ibadan, especially Lagos to Shagamu interlink, where a lot of activity residentially, you know Mowe, Redeem, Shimawa. Shimawa was sold for peanuts just 5 years ago. Shimawa now, to get a land in Shimawa, you need like 7 million. For like 6-7 years ago, Shimawa was probably sold for 200,000-300,000 naira. For you to get any major land in Shimawa now, because we didn't move there to go and do 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer. I don't know the latest, and they are still going to do something bigger.
See,
so our population is increasing at the rate of about 4% per annum.
Why not pockets? We can't put it on the road now.
Sorry, please try and mute yourself so that we don't distract people, please. I can see that Bumi Aweda, and some other people, please try and let us, So basically, that place, even all the way to Ibadan, even from Shagamu to Abeokuta, from Shagamu to Ijebu side, Ijebu-Ode, because those are all of those trailer zones. And anywhere you have the economic activity like that, things are going to be booming. For the Shagamu interlink to a lot of companies are springing up around that. On the Ayetoro side, linking back to Mowe or further, those are prime area. They talk about Abuja. Inside Abuja, then the outskirts of Abuja, Nasarawa Road, those are prime spots. Ibadan, and particularly Ibadan, as a direct side, prime spots. Moniya to Ijare, prime spot. You know why? Because there's a dry port that is going to be now to get land around Moniya now in Ibadan is a lot of problem. Just 2 years ago, before they finished the rail, land there you could get it even for maybe 300. Now if you go there now, it's 1 point something, 2 point something, and it's going to get more expensive. So I don't know what your city looks like, but what I'm saying is that development drives the business case for land banking. So for you to be a certified and a profitable land banker, you need to know the development that is happening in your area. So that is very, very critical. Sorry, a quick information. We won't need to go on a break. I think we'll just try and take the session together. We'll try and finish. I'll wrap up in the next, this is 2:39. I will attempt to wrap up by 2:45 so that we can take questions for maybe 15 minutes, and we will wrap it up by 3. I think that's better because I know a lot of you took out time from your work to attend this, and we really, really appreciate it. We do not take it for granted. And I hope that it has been worth your while so far. So that is it about prime spot. So you need to look at that. The next important point that I would advise you to do is to find developers, city developers like ours in Upper Light. We're into city development. Currently, we have our land in Ekpe, the Venice, 25 acres, and we're building it as an holiday home. But currently, you can get it for like 850. Of course, the promo for 850 is concluded today. For some of you that are on this call, we can extend it to tomorrow, But you don't really need to buy from us. That's not the point of this seminar. Of course, I'll be happy if you buy from us. Like I just told my team now, I told them, see, for those that are not buying, we're selling, by the way, in 2 months, we've sold over 30-something plots already from the estate. And at some point, I'm going to shut down the sales for that particular estate because I can't sell all the land. I have to be smart enough because I just did an analysis for them in the office, particularly Ekpe to Ijebu-Ode, because they will start lifting. So from next year now, when the port is ready, most people will not go to Apapa again. They will be, especially if you are coming from Ijebu and Co, you prefer to be picking your cars and whatever your goods and everything from the Lekki Seaport. That is confirmed. So nobody is going to do Apapa and all of that. So the activity in that axis, people passing through Ekpe, you will need hotel, you will need guest house, you need places you can stay for a short period. Some people will have to permanently live there. You need trailer parks. You need loads of trailer parks in that area. Because there are 2 things that is impacting that. Oil, people that are coming to pick petrol. Trailers, tankers. Then you now need trailers for oil. So that place will need a lot of trailer parks, a lot of residences, And guys that have been working in Dangote and all the other places, there's still even Alaro City sitting on Ekpe. Alaro City is 2,000 hectares. That's 60,000 plus city development. And currently they are selling a plot there at 27 million. Inside Ekpe, there's Isimi Lagos, a golf course that is just launched by one of the developers that way. Isimi Lagos 1,000 square meters is sold for 30 million. So that can already show you what is happening. In mainstream Ekpe now, you can't get land on the road because Ambode did a lot of good work inside Ekpe. Ekpe Road is better than any road in Lagos. Maybe it's only Lekki Ekpe Expressway that can stand Ekpe Road. The whole of Ekpe is interconnected. The topography is very nice. It's a perfect residential hub and also is a commercial hub. So if you buy into that, so what you need to find out are good developers that has a vision of what it's going to be so that you don't have to protect the land yourself. So you make sure they are going to promise on doing the infrastructure within that estate or that city that we are buying. For us now, by next week, we're clearing the site, we're starting the fencing, the gates and everything, because we just even launched the estate, you know, clearing the land, you know, and doing all form of things that we need to do. Of course, we did multiple layers of due diligence before we even bought the land. So the land is free of all encumbrances. By the way, you need to also double check when you are trying to buy a land. What documentation does he have? The most important thing is that is he committed or uncommitted? For example, we're launching another estate now, and part of our due diligence for some land that we checked, one of it is committed. There's another one that there's refinery, there's a state refinery. This plan is somewhere in Ibadan. I've never even heard that before. But the person that is trying to sell to us said one company is trying to sign a 40-acre deal with them that they've gone to the family to sign, which I find ridiculous, you know? So a lot of developers will not pay attention to details. They will just be in a hurry to go and buy a land that has problem. So you need to find out companies
No, it seems you are muted. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Which one am I using? I'm using it. Okay, sorry. I think the thing just went to mute. Which place? Did you hear me the last 1 minute? Okay. So it's just now that you couldn't hear me again. Yeah. So pretty much that is the whole thing. We can still take it up. Any questions that you need, you can begin to ask questions.
3. Please, we didn't hear you for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. Okay. So we might go up slightly for just like 1 minute now because we need to change the battery of the camera I'm using. Okay. But while that is being done, kindly. Okay. My voice. Okay, you can still hear me. Sorry, it's the camera in front of me. So we can still go on. I believe you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Please, can you mute everybody?
Hello, I need to confirm that somebody can hear me, please.
We can hear you. Hello?
Let me check the chat.
I can hear you.
The person that would have confirmed it now.
Are you?
Wow. So it's only 15 hours and a half. I hope it carries this out.
You need change.
Yeah, I want to enter inside. No,
And you don't have any other generation. I don't know. How much do you have?
I just need 100 naira to enter inside.
It's not 100 naira. Go. Yes, I think.
But
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry guys. Yeah. So basically, what we're talking about now is the fact that,
Excuse me,
in
please.
summary, what I'm trying to
Excuse
say
me.
is that land bank will edge you from all form of inflationary mess.
yes,
Number one,
the thing is,
it
the
edges
person,
you from all form of
I can't even remember the name I used to
FX issues.
save him.
Please, somebody is
I'm
on the
going to
road.
go
Can you
to
mute
status
yourself?
that can't be checking the status. So I can.
Somebody is talking. Can you also help me mute them from the other side? Okay, so I think I have to do some of the muting myself. So basically, that's real estate will land banking will edge you from all sorts of issues around inflation and all of that. Then you can fund your lifestyle, you can fund your business, you can even buy now. One of the strategy in land banking is that you can sell those land at some point and put it together and come and buy a house in town. That's a very wonderful one. Like somebody that bought some land in Mowe. He bought it at 250, about 6 plots. And in 3-4 years, the land became 2.5. And the person took it to come and do down payment for a mortgage in Ikoyi at a 2-bedroom in Ikoyi for 70 million. She paid 30 million and she extended the mortgage. So always remember, bush today, city tomorrow. And so when we're even talking about land banking, we're not saying that you necessarily have to live there. But you could buy 1 plot here, 2 plots here, and 3, 4, 5 years, you sell it, and you come to city centers to come and buy land. So that's how profitable land banking can be. And so what we're also saying is that try and also, in the process, what you should do is to buy, within an estate. Get reputable developers, get reputable developers. And one of the things that you have to check out are several things. Number one, what's the title? Is the land committed? What's the development plan for?
You're muted again. Please check. You are muted. Please check. I can't hear you.
I don't know why this thing kept on muting. So I've unmuted myself again. So I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you on the merit of land banking. So at this point, I'd like to take questions. So I think we'll unmute everyone now, but at least I would advise that if you are not talking, please mute yourself. muted. Please, guys, kindly unmute yourself and ask your questions, please. Or you can type it. You can type it. You can raise up your hand from the button or type the question. I'm trying to look for any question. I can't find any question yet. Can you all still hear me, please? Can you all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm waiting. Is it that I've said it so clearly that people don't, I'm so clear that people don't need, they don't have questions? Or maybe I've confused people? Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
You've told us that one of the advantages of land banking is
yes.
You said things like even paying school fees and things like that.
Yes.
So how you make it sound very easy
Yeah.
to exchange the land for the money. Is it really that easy?
It is very easy. Yes, ma. So, for example, in our company, we have a buyback option. Of course, we lock you in for minimum of 3 years because that's how land banking works. Because a lot of people might want to buy today and flip tomorrow. That's not land banking. That's a Baba Jebu. We don't do that. We don't even advise people for that. But this is what happens because you are buying it for cheap. Imagine a land you bought for example now, I can tell you categorically that any land, our land that we're selling at the village is currently selling at 1.2. We did a promo at 850. If you want to sell it in the next 2-3 years, trust me, that land can never be less than 2.53 million. That one I can guarantee you. That's why even as a company, we'll not even sell everything. Do you get what I mean? Now, at that point, let's even say you really need money and you sold at even, you discounted people, you sold at 2 million. Everybody will jump at it now and you can flip it. But we give the option of buyback. We do buyback. We sell on people's behalf and you can sell by yourself. There's a lawyer friend of mine that the brother had a problem. He bought a land with Indra. He bought about maybe 3 or 4 plots, just bought it there. You know that the brother had an accident and they needed money. And within a few days, she was able to sell it. She sold at 2.5 or something each. She was able to raise, because between 1 week, she spent 15 million. If that money was not there, the brother would have died. Because even now, the brother is still going through rehabilitation to show you the intensity of the accident. You get what I mean? So some of these things are not, they are not difficult as it seems. So for example, but you need to go ahead. So it's not like you put it now, use it to pay September school fees. That's not what I meant, or even next year. But if you leave your land within 36 months, there will be an appreciable difference. And when you are ready to sell, worst case scenario, you discount it by few hundred of thousands from the current market rate. You will sell it. So, but you need to plan ahead and start early.
Okay. Are you going to give us more information about this, your offer?
Yeah, so the team after this, they are still going to send a thank you message and they will share the information with you. But it's a nutshell, it's simple. The land is called the Venice Holiday Home. The design of it is an holiday home. So that is in a so you don't necessarily even need to live there full time. When we are going to build, which in the next 2-3 years, that place should be ripe for building, even though we'll have fenced it, do the road network and everything. Now, what we expect people to build there will be a set of bungalows. Now, because Lagos is even going to get very, very busy by the day that you want to run away every opportunity you have. So one of the things that place provides for you is a place you can run to with your family, maybe on a weekend or once a month, and go and rejuvenate, or once in a quarter. But the rest of the year, the way we are designing it is that we'll help you rent it out as a resort. So the place is doubling as an estate and as a resort. So we can rent out the buildings that you build. We can build for you, you can build by yourself. The ideal recommended thing would be to build a bungalow on it with a lot of green area. There's according to the plan, in the plan that we have, there's going to be an artificial lake there. Of course, there are going to be playground and some other things. So we expect that families can come to use the place for retreats, you know, for Christmas, for special holiday, you know, corporate retreat and the rest, you know. And presently we're selling for $850. The promo ends today. It's called August Rush promo. And by tomorrow it goes back to 1.2, but I can still give a 24 to 48 hours extension, particularly for people on this call, you know, to take advantage of that. If you want to visit the place before you make an investment, you can come to our office. Our office is in Lekki Phase 1, plot 13B, block 109, Henry Jogo, Lekki Phase 1. It's off Freedom Way. We go to site Wednesdays and Saturday. So you can book because if you want to see it, we allow you to see it. So it's not like you must pay. We have a lot of Nigerian diaspora that's bought into this, Canada, Netherlands, China. You know, we have a Montessori school that have signed up indefinitely with us that for every of our estates, the person is bringing a franchise from US. Every of our estate is taking minimum of 1 or 2 acres for the school. We've signed that MOU. So and we have a lot of companies that we're talking to because it's a city development. The next one now is a 300 plots estate somewhere in Ibadan and all of that. So, but in the meantime, we have this one as a promo that you can take advantage of. You know, yeah, you can come for more information. The customer service person will attend to you on that. So any other question? Any other question, please? Okay, let me read what Afolabi say. What development expectation around Ato Ota, Adodo, Ijota local government, where I plan to retire? Well, for me, top of mind, I don't know yet because, you know, as a developer, I have a lot on my neck that I'm chewing currently. All I just want to do is to get up to like 20 different estates in Ibadan. But that's my focus for now, even though I really want to go to Abuja. So you might have to do a development. So Atonta falls under Ogun State local government. But the thing I know is that I think Atonta is kind of close to Agbara and kind of close to Agbara. And Agbara is the largest industrial zone. So that at full scale, Atonta should be feeding Agbara. And I don't know, go and find out. One way or the other, there will be a major development that is meant to come there sometime very soon. But I'm not sure, and I can't speak to that. Our team can check, because I don't have an Ogun State master plan. I'm only basically focusing on Lagos. Because I even feel I'm too late in the game, you know, but so we're rushing fast, try and get as many, position ourselves very well in Ekpe and Ibeju properly, then go to Badagry and Agbara. That's the plan. Then Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Okay. So you said that what are the measures Lagos State to fend off Omonile from prospective buyer? They already have a committee that you can report to. But doing that as an individual can be very stressful. See, these are the times when you don't go and approach some things by yourself alone. And, you know, for example, even the issue of NSAS has shown us. For some of us that stayed in gated estate, we enjoyed the privilege because a lot of these guys looted different, even for some estate they came. Some estate they had to pay them money to fend them off. Some estate they tried to break in, like I know of Omale's Phase 2, they couldn't break it because we're able to. But imagine you are the only one, everybody's just doing their thing. You know, it's going to be very disastrous. That's why the cost of housing went immediately after EdSAT. To rent a house now, you pay through your nose. Why? Because a lot of people are now moving to gated estate and all of that. Those are some of the advantages. So for land banking too, the same advantage is there that the developer deals with Omonile. Trust me, there's a skill set to deal with Omonile. And like one of my mentors said, he said, there's even no seminar or nothing you can type online that will show you how to deal with Omonile. It comes with the streets. There's street smart to it. So, and for a developer, you already have the infrastructure. You have your lawyer. Of course, there's a way you liaise with the family. You buy from a good family. That's even the starting point. If you buy from families where there are a lot of charlatans, you're going to have a lot of problems. So the issue of Omonile should not be a problem if you deal with a reputable developer. However, if you want to fight Omonile by yourself, then you need to know people. You need to, you need to know people and all of that. Okay. I'm seeing somebody talking about mode of payments as put in place for the real investor. I read that. Sorry, I'm trying to see. Okay, I've answered that.
Yes, estimate payments.
Yeah, how secure is the investment? Well, one of the ways, so again, while you're doing investment, you also have to do your due diligence. The much I know, what we've done, the land is committed. Sorry, it's not committed. It's free from all encumbrances, government, anything. So that's protection number one. And you can go and double check by yourself. If you want, we'll give you the coordinates. You go and check. You see that the land is free. You see that we own the land. That's number one. Number two is that based on our integrity as a company, because our focus is to be able to develop different cities, because that's where civilization and growth can happen. So we make sure that we do fencing, we put securities in our estates and all sort of things like that, And so it's as secure as anything you can think of, because the journey for us is far. It's a long-term thing we're playing. A lot of people are short-term minded. That's not how we operate in our company. We operate with absolute integrity, and you can find out from some of those people that are transacting with us. A lot of people that have even bought from us, they've not even seen the land. Of course, because some of them are outside of the country. Some of them sent some people that bought from us that are staying outside of Lagos, outside of the country, they send their people to come and check. Some people, they are the owner, they've come to check, they bought. And so, like I said, if you want to, you can always check before you even make the commitment. Then I saw somebody write, what's the payment modality? I think the team will reach out to you. I think it's better that way. So we'll send the flyer out to you through a newsletter, or they can do it through WhatsApp. Then we can take it from there in terms of showing you that, of course, you pay to the company's account. The minimum, you can actually even spread the payment. That's how flexible it is. You can make a minimum commitment of 200 and 300,000. Then you can spread the rest even over a year, over 1 year. Spread the rest for 1 year. If you are doing 0 to 3 months, we won't charge you extra. But if you are doing more than 3 months, we'll charge you about maybe, I think 0 to 6 months, we'll charge you 5%. 0 to 9 months, we'll charge you 15%. No, 0 to 6 months, we'll charge you 10%. 0 to 9 months, we'll charge you 15. 0 to a year, we'll charge you 25. The reason is because the cost of land, if you understand, is increasing every day. So, but at the end of the day, no matter even what you pay, in a year's time, your land will be minimum ×2 of what you are buying today. That one I can almost, let's not say the analysis is too bogus. Your land will have increased by 50% in value, So that is it. Any other questions, so that we'll begin to put a wrap up of this? It's 5:06 already, 3:06. So we said 2 to 4, but I believe that we've been able to cover some major things. I believe if you have any questions, you can ask me. You can unmute yourself and ask me, or you chat. You chat me up. I can't see any chat. I can't see any questions. I want to believe that
She was not the one that tried. Somebody got
Okay, guys. So, in the absence of any other question, I want to thank you once again. Sorry for the itch at the initial stage. You know, we hope to do better. Remember that this event is always every last Thursday of the month. Actually, we had to do this one on a Tuesday because of to get a lot more people to come through. We didn't really publicize it as we ought to. But from next month, it's going to be even more robust. You know, we're going to, tell you a lot of things. The next topic is going to be very interesting. I'm not going to reveal it now, but keep a date with us every last Thursday of the month. You know, and we also would like to join you. We also like to join you. We'll keep sending you information. We also want to create a WhatsApp group so that we can send you materials that you can read. Then you can ask us questions, chat with us, and all of that. So we'll send you a link. You have to register so that we don't just spam you. It's only people that want to be part of the World Chatroom WhatsApp group. So we're not forcing people. We're not going to just, we're going to send a message. If you want to be part of it, you click the WhatsApp link, you join the group. That's what we're going to do. Somebody is saying, I can see, what is the need for the company? Like I said, our vision is to build about 20 smart. Thank you so much. What's the need for the company? I mean, what other fees are we expected to pay apart from land payment? Of course, basically you pay for the agency, the legal fee, which is 10% of the transaction. And you pay for, you can do your survey by yourself. You can let us do it for you. Depends on what you want because it's an open thing. The last fee will be developmental fee. And the way we're doing developmental fee, unlike some other companies, is that they will just charge you developmental fee. No. When our subscription reaches 70%, we're going to call a town hall meeting. And the people that are subscribers, that are landlord in our estate, they will be in the meeting, they will choose the association, and will jointly determine what the development fee will be. That's how we're doing it. Then even the account that the development fee is going to be in, there has to be a joint signatory within the company and the association to make it open. We are not planning to make money from developmental fee. Do you understand? So we are open and transparent. We believe in building it together. So land banking, building city and all of that is a joint effort of several people. And I believe that people should be given the opportunity to express themselves. So those are the things that we would do. Okay? So guys, that's all from my side. I think I've answered all the questions. I really want to appreciate all of you for joining in. And I hope to see you the next, last Thursday in September. Of course, we'll reach out to you. We'll keep engaging you. So you'll receive newsletter from us. You'll receive the opportunity to join the WhatsApp group and some other information and all of that. So guys, I really appreciate you for your time, for your attention. I'll see you next month by God's grace. There's another seminar that is starting by 5. It will be good if you can join. That one is for realtors. So if you want to sell real estate, because it's one of the quickest way of making money and even buying land yourself, making money by being a realtor. So that's what we're doing it for another set of community, which are the realtors that are selling for us and people that are interested in selling for us. But that is 5 o'clock. If you're interested, please chat the admin that will be chatting you up on WhatsApp and request for the link. The name of the estate is the Venice Holiday Home. So if you go to our website, www.upperlightproperties.com, you will see the details there. The name of our company is Upperlight Nigeria Limited. The name of the estate in Ekpe currently is the Venice Holiday Home in Ekpe. For short, it's called the Venice. It's an holiday home. That's the concept. It's 150 plots. So we expect about 100 plus landlord in that place, even though we have a lot of people that bought 6-7 plots, so it might not be up to that 100 plus because about bulk of our customers are buying 3-4 plots. Yeah, we have 1 or 2 plots here and there, but the bulk of the people are buying 3-4 plots. Okay, guys, so don't let me delay you any further. I appreciate. I'll see you next month. God bless. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.